Today we're going to be talking about the car detailing video that I did for Gloss Pro. This detailing video was such a massive project that it actually took 3 full days to film. Now for the detailing video, we ended up doing 2 different cars. So we had a 1968 Dodge Coronet and we also had a 1964 Chevrolet Impala. The first scene that we worked on was Thomas detailing the 1968 Dodge Coronet. So we started with the exteriors, so that involved him taping up the chrome pieces of the car, so then he could go ahead and buff the car and then he could wipe it down with a cloth. He also inspected his progress with a torch too, and that also made for a very cool shot. So we ended up changing tools to a much smaller buffer, so we could get in between all the badges and also the logos too. So now we're onto the engine bay, and I ended up getting a couple of shots of him detailing the engine and also the hood of the car. After finishing up with the engine bay, he closed the hood and then we went on to the interiors. I wanted to get a couple of shots of him vacuuming the car, as well as wiping down the seats and then also the door. I noticed a couple of cool badges on the door, so I got him to do a swift wipe from the left to the right, and then I followed his movement with my gimbal. We decided to take the car outside of the garage and we gave it a good wash. He then went on and did a final polish of the entire car. So to end the Dodge Coronet video, we invited the customer into the shop and we got a key handoff and a final handshake. So now we're up to detailing the 64 Impala. Because the 64 Impala is a new car, we had to repeat the entire process again. The only key difference for this job was that he also had to detail the headlights. Now the next part of the video is the classic car lineup out the front of the shop. So Thomas ended up inviting a bunch of his old customers to show up to this shoot as well. So on top of having the 68 Coronet and the 64 Impala, we had an additional 64 Impala, we had a Chevrolet Bel Air, and we also had a Plymouth Cuda. So now that we've got the classic car lineup out front, I ended up getting a bunch of different drone shots to showcase the collection. On top of doing all the drone shots for the lineup, I also wanted to get individual shots of each of the cars. So I got full body exteriors, I got interiors, and then I also got some detail shots of the badges and the logos. To finish off the video, I ended up filming a couple of rolling shots of the Plymouth Cuda as well as the Dodge Coronet just leaving the shop. So So once those two cars have left, Thomas ended up jumping in Rob's 64 Impala and we decided to go for a quick cruise and get some interior driving shots as well as some exterior shots. Now that you've seen how I've created the video, here's the final result. So here's a quick run through of the equipment that I use for this video. I use the Sony a7 III, I use the Tamron 28-75mm f2.8 lens, I use the DJI Ronin SC gimbal, and I also use the Rode Video Mic Pro. The camera settings for this video. I shoot in 4K at 25 frames per second, which means my shutter speed has to be 1/50. I shoot in a picture profile of S-Log2, which means my ISO has to be a minimum of 800. My aperture stayed at f2.8. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you stay tuned for more photography and videography content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.